Hi everyone and welcome to Module 4. Before we jump into this module, I would like to encourage you to just take a step back and think about how far you've come already. In the past couple of weeks, you have gotten started with Twitter, or perhaps you've reached out and used a Twitter account you created a while ago but didn't quite know how to use it. Well, now you're getting there. You also started using Hypothesis to do some annotation with our class. I'd like you to understand and also think about the fact that we could be using Hypothesis in a public manner too. You can jump into any web page, turn Hypothesis on, and see annotations that have been left on that page by anyone in the world who's used Hypothesis. Some interesting ways to use it for learning there. You also experimented with mobile video when you did your classroom tours. I want you to be thinking about how mobile devices are handheld opportunities to bring in the world, bring the real world into learning from anywhere at any time. A lot of amazing opportunities there when we start to think about creating learning content that isn't from a book or doesn't require us to be in a room. You also got involved with Twitter chats, and I know that there's still lots of room to grow there. It takes some time to get used to how they work, but bravo for taking your first leap. And then you have also stepped into digital curation. That is a lot. So if you're feeling like, wow, I have a lot to learn, I want you to think about how much you have learned already, okay? Okay, now let's take it one step further at this point in time. I'd like you to take a look at this image here that I absolutely love. This is an image by Brian M. Mathers, and you can follow him on Twitter at Brian M. Mathers. It's an illustration that he drew that is referencing a thought by Joy Ito. You can also follow on Twitter, by the way, at Joy. And he's titled this "Education is Changing." I think he's right, but I also think for us at this moment in time where we are with getting our feet wet and starting out with this, getting familiar with this new way of professional development, right? Kind of cultivating our PLN to keep ourselves learning and engaged in what's happening around the world, creating this network where we can learn from anyone at any time. It may be more helpful to change the title from "Education is Changing" to "Learning is Changing," because I think that's where we are right now. And the more we can get our arms around how learning is changing, informal learning is changing, then I think we start to understand why it's so important for us to take this new paradigm of learning and start to integrate it into our classrooms. If one of our jobs as educators, one of our commitments is to prepare students for a successful life, and if this is the way, that model that you see on the right, the broad network of creativity, if that is how our students will be learning outside the classroom and how they will be expected to position themselves as experts in their field after they graduate from college, as they become adults, then we start to understand why it's so important to take that paradigm and think about ways to integrate it into our classroom and start to shift this approach to centralized instruction. I know that's huge, and I know it seems like quite a lofty goal, and it's not a goal that we're all going to achieve this semester or this year. But I think what you can do is start to come up with ways that you can make this happen in small ways, baby steps. You're going to encounter barriers, you're going to encounter challenges, and those are all things that we need to talk about together. And hopefully you'll take this conversation back to your peers and share what you're learning with them. So I hope that you'll keep this image in mind as you move forward with our current module and with the next several modules and really the rest of the class. I think this is very applicable for a whole semester together. So that's it for now. I look forward to seeing you step into the role of bloggers this week as you set up your own blog and make your very first blog post and share it on Twitter. Looking forward to that, and I hope you are too.